Hey there, it's Lawrence. It's a beautiful sunrise morning today in Sedona, Arizona. Skies are beautiful, mountains are beautiful. It's quiet, 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 so beautiful. So, I was working with a student, and I realized in talking with them that there is this way in which we are in relationship together that creates a kind of meltdown effect where you're with somebody and you both melt down at the same time because of the ways in which you escalate with your partner. And I realized there was a principle that was really important that I shared with him and I wanted to share with you, which is that in this sense, David, Data, and so many others, I could go on and on and on, basically the entire idea of the masculine-feminine split, which is truly a mythology, but it's also a destructive mythology, because it holds the position of, the strong masculine and this, receptive feminine, weak feminine, needing this strong point, blah, blah, blah. Standard, pretty much 1950s thinking. But, think sort of Superman and Lois Lane kind of thing, except in the modern tantric view, the woman is crazy and unstable, except for Superman, the masculine, to save the day. Because she's, wounded feminine. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, so if you use that model in relationship, and then, your job as a woman is to be as unstable as possible, as, angry, mean, emotional, whatever, and the man's job is just hold space, just be amazing, and just take your, whatever shit you throw in his face. And of course, this doesn't really make for intimacy and relationship or much of anything, actually. It's a very difficult space to connect in. And then if you have that going on and then you're both escalating on top of that, wow. So what I wanted to share is that there's a way that really the principle I want to share is that it's about one or the other person getting sane in a moment of escalation and then chilling down. So it's not the man's responsibility, it's not the masculine's responsibility, it's just, those are made up. Like, honestly, those distinctions are just made up distinctions. The distinction that means something is the distinction of somebody has to de-escalate. Somebody has to wake up in the middle of an argument and just bring it down. Just come to their senses, to just realize, like, oh, this isn't that important. And, to realize that somebody has to bring things in and then talk about this difficult discussion when everybody is sane and calm down, because there's nothing that can come from two people pulling out emotional nuclear weapons and throwing them at each other. Just, that's not a sustainable relationship. And even though that is the model that we use, that's not the model you want to use, because it's just kind of sucks, honestly, especially for long-term intimacy. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Just be the person when you're having an argument or you're in the middle of something. Be the person who just de-escalates, brings it down. One or the other of you. You won't always, but if you're both spinning out, that ain't gonna work. And if people spin out in that way, they think like, oh, I'm making you a better person or I'm healing you. Go to a therapist. Don't put that on your partner. Like, that's really incorrect information for long-term, any kind of long-term sustainable intimacy. It's kind of, think of it like a plant, if you're planting something, you can't keep coming over and ripping out the roots and being like, oh, well, I'm helping you because we're getting to the root of the problem. So it's like, no, you got to let that thing grow and water it and nurture it and take care of it. So that's what I have for you this morning, this beautiful morning. Sedona, Arizona. Look at those skies. Wow. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, it is beautiful. All right. Have a beautiful day wherever you are.